Today, I'm starting what I'm going to call the J South Breakdown. I'm going to take a competitive Mario Kart 8 Deluxe match and analyze 3 races where I played well and 3 races where I played poorly and take you through my thought process, explain key moments and costly mistakes. Let's get right into it. So the first race, we find ourselves on Electr Drome. Ignore that it says 7th race. These are all from a Mogi that I played the other day with about a 3200 average MMR, so that's pretty high for me. But this is going to be one of the races that I played well. So we start off in the back, and I pull a shroom, which is exactly what I need. My goal here is kind of just to not get hit, save this for the end, and take the shortcut and end up in the front. I'm checking my coin count here. I have 6 coins. Lucky to not get bombed there, but triple greens is a fantastic goal here. Like, the game plan at this point is just to drive, take the shortcut, and run with my triple greens. The only thing I'm really worried about here is a blue shell, but that's okay. So we take the cut, I hit a bunch of people with the greens, and I end up in second, which is honestly almost better than being in first, but this guy in first is kind of slow. So I end up in first, but I guess the guy behind me wanted to end up in first with his mushrooms. So I end up in second, which is actually way better. Way better. So my teammate was the guy that just got hit right there. So I'm trying not to get backed by Kappa, but I'm in a great situation right now. Shroom in second, guy in first has Shroom, so he'll take the blue shell. Speaking of the blue shell, the only way this could get better is if I had 10 coins. So I am about to take the cut here, get some coins, and then I get shocked. That sucks, because that is quite possibly the worst place other than mid shortcut to get shocked right there, but that's okay. I'm still in a good spot. I'm in the front. Well, I guess now I'm really in the middle. But I have 6 coins, which isn't too bad. So obviously the shock didn't help me, but it didn't hurt me as much as it could have. So that does, though. The triple greens pull is not great there. I mean it's okay, I guess, to protect me until the set. But more than anything here, I just need some shrooms for the end. So I chained my chained my greens back that guy who later pinged me in the Discord chat because he was mad about it. But we've set ourselves up well for the ending here, because as you know by now, the ending of this track is basically you just want to have either a star or a golden or some kind of shroom to take the shortcut, because that shortcut's broken. So I get more shrooms to take the cut with, take the cut, and end up in 4th. So I would argue that if there was no shock there, I'd probably get first, but that's okay. 4th is a great race, and we fully take that there. So next we find ourselves on Piranha Cove. This is a track that I've pretty extensively been time trialing recently. So I figured I would try to just front run, get to the front, which I did very quickly, which was good, and then I messed it up, because I missed that mini turbo, which is way more costly than you'd ever think. So yeah, then I get bumped off the coral, and at this point I probably should have just bagged, but my ego got to me, and I was like, well, I'll just be able to pass people, which we'll see if that's the case. So I see this Dutch flag green Yoshi Scooty with a red shell. I don't know how he slowed down this much, I can't lie. I should have held B to make sure I didn't get red in here, but I got red in anyway. So that was a pretty tough mistake. But this race is a really good lesson to learn from, because you're going to see, I don't get like a great spot this race, but sometimes playing well when you're dealt a bad hand just comes down to salvaging at the end. Salvaging whatever you can get. And if you've watched high-level gameplay, then you probably already know that. But here the game plan on this track is just get good items, get my coins up, catch back up at the end. Unfortunately, this track does not have that many coins, so I'm having to go out of my way to collect them and rely on people getting hit. The reason I saved that horn until the box was in case someone chained a red, which actually ended up happening, funny enough, so I'm really glad I did that. I burned that golden instantly because I don't want that in my inventory. So it runs out as I'm approaching, and I need this double box, but I actually missed it because, I don't know, I guess my teammate jump scared me there. But this actually turns out to be one of the most crucial mistakes of the entire race. Likely I would have gotten triple shrooms and a star, which I could have chained into this box, and I get shocked. If I had chained a star there, I would have dodged the shock and been able to make my way up a lot sooner than I actually did. Obviously I haven't played very well thus far, but sometimes playing well is just dealing with whatever you're dealt at the very end of the race. So by this point, you're probably thinking I'm probably screwed. I'm going to get like maybe 10th, maybe 9th. But I get Golden Star, which is honestly probably about the best pull I possibly could have got there other than a bill. And the goal is just to salvage and not look back. So despite all the crap that I did wrong that race, I actually ended up in 7th, which maybe you wouldn't say I played very well there, but considering what could have happened, I was very proud of getting 7th place there. So last but not least for the good races, we find ourselves on Wario Stadium. And as many of you know, this is the most front-run heavy track in the entire game. So obviously the goal here is just to drive better than everyone else, not get hit, and end up in the front with a lot of coins. So I'm doing a very good job at that so far. And I even have a shroom for the shortcut at the end through the little mud in the water. So I'm kind of just out driving everyone right now, trying to get my coins up. We got 8 coins and a mushroom, and I'm at the top. So here I find myself in first place with the shroom, and this is a critical moment. Should I take the cut? Should I not? I decided to go around because I didn't think 2nd and 3rd would both have shrooms, but they did, and I got hit for it. So that was a pretty rough mistake. I guess I should have taken the cut. I should have looked behind me to see if they had shrooms behind me, and then I would have taken the cut, still been in first, and just be driving right now. But I'm still in a good spot. I'm in 4th. I have space from 3rd, space from 5th, and I have 9 coins, and now I have triple greens in 3rd. Unfortunately, that guy's dead body killed one of my green shells, so I'm much more inclined to chain them now because they don't actually protect me as well as they should. So that's exactly what I do here. And at this point, my goal is just to get space from the people behind me and guarantee a top 3 spot, assuming there's no devastating shot. And that's why I'm shrooming here, but that second shroom was a really bad play because I had to go wide anyway to avoid the red, and I ended up getting ranged, which is unfortunate. But I had shrooms to recover, so it's fine. At this point, I'm thinking, just don't get hit again, and I got hit again. But luckily, it was just a banana, and I had another shroom, so it was fine. But now, if I get hit again, it's kind of over. I don't know, I do have a recovery shroom, but the goal here is just to salvage in the end. But here, I make a really good play that I was really proud of. Chaining that shroom saved me this race. And I know outside looking in, you're probably just thinking, oh, well, that's just, you're lucky you got 4 shrooms behind that. But if you look at how far ahead first is, chaining my shroom there was absolutely the play because it gets me space away from 5th, and I'm more than enough distance away from first to get really good items there at the end. Onto the first kind of rough race. We've got Royal Raceway, another track that I would consider myself pretty good at driving at least for my tier and lounge. And starting in the back here was actually really good for me because I have more coins than my competition, and I pulled a shroom at the start, so I'm looking really good here, but unfortunately I had to waste a shroom because of a bump. But I find myself just kind of driving again, passing majority of the lobby. This is how most of my races go, but then this happens. Like, this whole Mogi, for reference, I scored 67 this Mogi because I just made a bunch of little dumb mistakes like that. And maybe part of that comes down to me not like playing very much beforehand. Like I should probably be time trialing before my lounges to warm up my driving. Maybe that's a point I take away from this. But either way, I find myself in 3rd with great items just to, you know, kind of chill with. But I chained that red to get my triples out because first was really far away. And I unfortunately get bumped into the off-road there, so I have to waste my shroom, which was really not what I wanted to do there. But that's okay. So I went wide to space for those greens, ended up in the off-road. At this point, I'm like, I'm just going to bag. Because I keep losing spots to people, but that right there was a crucial error. Getting shroom boosted into that single box sucked. And I mean, it's not the end of the world, but I would have much preferred a double box here. But actually, I take it back. Here was really bad, because what am I going to get here? 4 shrooms. Why did I get 4 shrooms? More than likely because I was in 8th place when I got that box. If I had slowed down for a 9th place box there, I would have most likely gotten a star. And I was at star distance, so I could have pulled a star in 8th. But I should have not gotten greedy and maximized my chances of pulling a star by being in 9th. That shrooms pull was just unlucky. I'm at star distance and I'm in bottom 4. It is what it is, that's part of the game. But the goal here is to get a star or a golden, or preferably both, to take this end shortcut with. Or there's like 3 shortcuts. Which, if you have seen my YouTube shorts, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I use my star in the star spot. I'm like, oh, I'm about to salvage like 5th or 6th here. That's cool. But the ghost pull really sucks, and I didn't use my star to its full capacity. I could have went around that last grass patch again, but instead I hit the grass and ended up in 10th place. If I had to boil that race down to one thing, it would have been the driving mistakes and just not bagging as soon as I could have. On to Sunshine Airport, one of my absolute favorite tracks in the game. But this race was quite a catastrophe, I can't lie. So, right off the bat, we got a mistake of getting what I call TT brain, or time trial brain. Instead of securing a box, which is the most important part of the start of this track, every time. The goal here should be to get a shroom from that box and take that shroom cut in the grass that I just went by. But instead, I got too caught up in my driving, took the same box that half the lobby did, and didn't get an item. So in turn, I'm in last, having to bag again on one of the best tracks in the game for my driving. Funny enough, my teammate falls off the track, ends up right behind me, but it is what it is. So now we're playing the bagging game again. The goal here is to get triple shroom star or triple shroom bullet or something like that. Triple shrooms and then a dodge, and then catch up at the end. And my teammate blues me in the face. Not really my fault, but I guess that's part of the game. So I use my star here, and funny enough, I dodge a shot, which was cool. I don't know if it was my teammate's shot or not. And I have a star in my pocket. So now I'm in a really good seat right now. Like a very good seat. As you can see, I'm running up the star into 7th. But I hit a ground nana. And then this happened. It's hard to blame myself for the glider thing, but if I didn't hit the nana, it wouldn't have happened. The reason I hit that banana is because I got scared of the fire behind me. And so I held X for a little too long. I mean, it's pretty unlucky that there's a banana right there, but it was fully avoidable. So, as stupid as that looks, I do make little stupid mistakes like that a lot. Like, a lot of my races that I lose boil down to one catastrophic mistake like that. So one takeaway that I'm definitely going to take away from this, and maybe some of you can too, is that no matter how good your mechanics are and how much better you think you are than the players around you, like, avoiding huge mistakes is crucial, because this game is really unforgiving. I mean, like, one big mistake and I mean you're cooked. You're kind of just done for. And unfortunately, made another slight mistake there. I really couldn't tell you why that guy just didn't go for the box to his left, right beside the double, but instead he went for the third one. I get no box, and I ended up sneaking out 11th, but it is what it is. Obviously, the big mistake there was hitting the banana and getting clocked off the glider ramp. But it is what it is. That's part of the game. Alright, final race on DK Jungle. So, finally, I am going to get to show some front-running gameplay. I know I missed the freak empty at the start. But, luckily I pulled triple nanas here. Got the super bounce, even though I almost got bumped into the grass. But, the goal here, I mean, I'm just trying to get it first. So, I space a little bit from this guy trailing, because I just really don't want to get hit here, and I just want to front-run. And you could classify that as a spam red, but the guy was slow and he was trailing, so I'm going to red out his trail. That's something I've learned recently. If you are behind someone that's trailing something, and you have a red and then another defense behind it, do not be scared to just red out the trail. You don't want to hold yourself back by a traffic cone. So, you know, play aggressive if it comes down to it. If people are slow in front of you, kill them. But don't leave yourself defenseless. And don't do this! Try! That was so bad. I was chilling in first, and for some reason I just got a bad alignment for my mini turbo, and it cost me my first place. So luckily I reacted well with smart steering there, so I'm still in the front, but I could be chilling in first right now by a mile. And luckily that guy wastes his boomerang, so I get to red him, but it doesn't matter, because the person behind me pulled reds, I pulled 2 shrooms. I think that's pretty unlucky personally, but if I had not gotten greedy and kept my red, maybe we're not in that situation. But I think it was reasonable to kill that guy with the boomerang. But either way, I'm still in a good spot here. I bet you're probably wondering how this could have went wrong. But I guess you'll have to see. So I find myself in 4th with, honestly, one of the best possible pulls I could have up here. And then that happens. Now that's really not my fault. Of course, I'm in the mentality of blaming myself for everything. But that's really not my fault. And this is also kind of stupid. I'm not gonna lie, this race tilted me a lot. So at this point my race is basically over. I'm trying to do what I did on Piranha Cove and just salvage whatever I can. So while I could sit here and say I just got unlucky. The red hit me under my green shells. I got redded by the guy in 8th. You know, like, these are all avoidable things if I don't just drive off the track in first at the start of lap 2. But either way, we're trying to salvage. I pull a ghost, get shrooms, and then I just drove off the track. And honestly, I don't think it would have mattered. Somehow I didn't get last. I still kept 11th, but that was that. If I could give 3 learning points to you all from me and my experiences, my first point would be to just drive more consistently. I lost probably 20-30 points this Mogi in some races that you did see, some that you didn't see, to me just blatantly making driving mistakes, which that's part of the game, but you can't let that happen. Second point would be bag earlier. It's really easy, especially as a more mechanical player than anything, I would say about myself. It's very easy to not want to bag because you think you can just pass everybody by driving, but that's really just not a good mindset. Anytime you get hit at the start of a race, especially in competitive play, it's best to just get your coins up, get some kind of mushrooms and a star combo in your item spots, and run it up. At the very least, just stay in the back and try to predict the shock. But trying to front run with no coins and bad items is never going to work out, unless you're just significantly better than the entire lobby that you're playing against. And the third point would be, sometimes you just got to salvage what you can get. Like we saw on the Piranha Plant Cove race, sometimes you can't aim for first, sometimes you can't aim for top 4, sometimes you can't aim for even top 6. If you find yourself in a situation like I did there, where, say, I don't know, you get shocked right after the boxes, or you get hit by something stupid, sometimes you just gotta aim for whatever you can get, because those little points add up. So me aiming for 7th place on that race instead of giving up and getting last saved me 5 points that race, and you never know how much that matters in the end of a race. With that being said, I hope you've all enjoyed episode 1 of the J South Breakdown. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day.